Hey everyone, my name is Amber. I'm a first year, 5th grade teacher, and welcome to my classroom. So I started teaching 5th grade back in August of 2021, so I'm a little over halfway through my very first year of teaching. I wanted to give you guys an inside scoop and look at what my classroom looks like about midway through the year. So it is definitely not as perfect as it was the very first day of school. It has been lived in by my lovely students, and I wouldn't have it any other way, and that's exactly how it should be. So without further ado, let's get into the tour. Hope you guys enjoy. So with that being said, welcome again to my 5th grade classroom. So excited to have you guys stopping by. This is a general overview of what my classroom looks like. I'm very, very thankful for all of my loved ones who helped support and put so much time and effort into making my dream classroom come to life. So when you first walk into my classroom, on the right side, I have an emotional check-in area with a bunch of different inside-out character feelings with student name clips that they can move to the emotion that they're feeling that day. Moving on to this section, I have the student's bathroom pass along with some math manipulatives and other manipulatives for the students to be able to use throughout the day, like scissors, pencils, markers, glue, etc. Moving into the corner of my room, I have my classroom jobs posted, my absent folders, and my math centers section. For math centers, I have 5 different centers: math technology, small group, partner games, number work, and math writing. So during center time, students know to come back to this section and grab the materials they need. Brings me to one of my first rolly carts in my classroom. This one has a bunch of blank paper, colored paper, different types of paper that students are able to use, as well as a fast finishers and enrichment drawer. So if students finish work early or need an extension, this is where they can come to find those things. And next to this cart, I have a whiteboard bin with some dry erase sleeves, which is amazing for math, and a clipboard bin, which is amazing for work around the room. We like to do a lot of task cards, so you know I'm about those clipboards. This brings us to our student station in the back, where students turn in their completed work for each class, any notes from home that they may have, or pick up a pencil from ready to use or put it back in need to sharpen. This is also where students store their Chromebooks at the end of the day and iPads. The back wall of my classroom is where I post what we are learning and all of our academic content. So I teach math, science, and social studies. In math, we are currently learning multiplying and dividing fractions. So there are some anchor charts for all of that fun stuff. Moving on to science, we are currently learning physical and chemical changes. So there's a little anchor chart for that. Last but not least, we have social studies. So we are currently learning about the Cold War in social studies. We do a lot of gallery walks in this subject, and this is an example of one of those. This brings us to one of my favorite corners of my room. This is my calm down corner. So if students ever feel anxious or stressed, they can just go to my corner. They can pick out a book to read. They can play a little game to ease their mind, or they can write down something that they wish that I knew about them or about a situation that's going on, and only I'll be able to see it. In this corner, students are surrounded by positive and inspirational quotes that they can read while they're calming down. The general vibe of this corner just brings me so much joy and happiness, so I really hope that it does the same for my students. Continuing on my bulletin board, I have an Our First Day section where I took each student's first day of school picture. I obviously can't show you that, but here is a cute picture of me and my teaching partner. This bulletin board is an area where students can record when they've reached their math minutes for the week and where I can post our learning targets and success criteria. And this brings us to my desk, where of course I have my University of Georgia decorations, go Dogs, and all of my more personal things for my classroom. For example, I have my lesson planning cart. So I have Monday through Friday where I keep all my lesson plans for the week, as well as a next week grade, pass back, copy, and file drawer. And in front of my window, I have my glorious teacher toolbox, which has everything I need and more, such as binder clips, post-it notes, tape, pens, you name it. Moving to the shelf underneath my toolbox, I have a bunch of teacher goodie and go-to stuff. So I have a snacks drawer for my snacks, and then I have binders galore. So I have a math curriculum binder where I keep stuff that I've made throughout the year, a forms binder with student information, and my data binders. So I have an RTI data binder, as well as a data binder for math, science, and social studies to track student progress. I have a subplans binder, a classroom management binder, and last but not least, my red safety procedure crisis manuals binder. Moving back to my desk, this area also doubles as my small group table for math centers or pulling small groups. This Friends light is a cue that tells my students when it's on, I'm meeting with a small group, and not to come bother unless it's an emergency. If it's off, they can come ask any questions. I try to keep my desk as minimal as possible. I keep all of the stuff that I need throughout the day in this little holder, as well as keeping my lesson plans binder close by to refer to throughout the day, and then just my laptop on the other side. And this right here is the $1 million view that I get to see from my desk each day. In the front of my classroom, I have my whiteboard. So on the side there, you can see the days of the week posted. That's like my agenda where I post announcements or important tests for the upcoming week. This is my calendar where I can flip to turn it to the day of the week, month, day, and year. And I have some whiteboard accessories. On the other side of my whiteboard, I have a missing work area and then my attendance area. So whenever students arrive in the morning, they will come to this section of the whiteboard and grab their student number and move it up to the I am here section, and that's how I'll take attendance. We've made it full circle. So on this section of my classroom, I have my voice levels 0 through 3, starting with voices off, going to whisper, table talk, and presenter. So each color stands for a different thing. White, just turning on. Red is like last warning. Green means that the kids are doing awesome. And blue means they're getting pretty close to red. This is where we track our specials groups. So my class is split into 3 different groups, so they all 3 go to different specials each day. So whenever I want to change them, I have them all Velcroed on, and then I can just change their groups to the special. My school gives out tickets for student rewards, and this is where my students put their tickets when they get one. And then last but not least, we have some recess supplies. That brings us right back to the door. Thank you guys so much for visiting my classroom. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends!